風をくれ風になれマウンテン The Breakground 脈打つことを感じてる Never ever空の盾を破れよ誇りの中で霞む太陽背中で震える僕に飛んでやれよこの手で掴むまで風をくれ風になれ丸The breakout 飛んだ昨日も蹴散らして永遠と瞬間が薄かれば目覚める欲望を感じてる Never ever
Hello everyone and welcome over to race number 21 of the NR2003 PMU Cup Series here at the second race of the season at Kentucky Speedway. And right now we are coming up to the penultimate round of the regular season, as the next race will be a homestead, and that is when we will find out who will make it on to who will make it on to the next round, which is the first round of the chase. The first round of the chase, or the playoffs, however you call that. So, anyway, let's waste no more time and get this done very quickly, and let's see who will qualify on pole for today's race.
Drivers.
Andrew Walker will start on the pole, Blake Parker second place, Dylan Hayden third, Owen Scott fourth, Audie Tabag fifth, Solomon Sheridan sixth, Roberto Crown Jr. seventh, Henry G. Brown eighth, Trey Meeks in ninth, and David Scott in 10th place, and the rest of the field. Anyways, let's make a move on from there. And as usual, let's see.
Drivers, to your cars.
So, let's see how this start's going to be. So here we go.
Drivers, start your engines.
And here we go. Here we go. As we are getting ready to go. Hang on. Apologies. Just want to double check something. Just the volume and everything. I think the volume's alright, so anyways. All cars are coming out. Okay, there's something wrong with the painting thing that I think... Okay, just be right back. Let me sort out that paint thing, so And I do want to apologize for that brief moment down there. Basically, the graphics were blurry and I had to like adjust them again. So, but as you can see, the graphics are far better than before. Before they were very blurry, but obviously that is basically an NR2003 thing. So, but anyway, we're all good and we are getting ready to go racing here at Kentucky for the second time this season. And by the way, we all want to know who's going to make it onto the playoffs, but that's not going to be until the end of the next race, which is will be a homestead. I mean. Anyway, so let's make a move on here at Kentucky and let's see who will bring the crown for the race. As Drew Walker is now getting away, or he's trying to get away from the rest of the field as he hops onto the lead at the moment. However, though, Dylan Hayden, I think he's just trying to fight for that second place, but I think Blake Parker is trying to fight back at him. And there's Owen Scott. Owen Scott is currently your race leader in the points. Your leader in the points, I mean, not your race leader, but could he end up leading a race? And then perhaps he could add on to his 5 wins. Add on from his 4 wins this season so far. Could this be Owen Scott's day? Well, who knows. But anyway, he's got 2 cars in front of him, Blake Parker and Drew Walker. In fact, these two are technically allies. Blake Parker running the team that Drew Walker is racing at the moment in that 77 car, and Blake Parker looking around on Drew Walker. In fact, both of these drivers are actually mostly guaranteed to make it on to the next race, but to make it on to the next round of the playoffs. So, but we'll have to wait and see just to confirm, just for them to be confirmed for the next round. And there's Solomon Sheridan. Solomon Sheridan's right there. So looks like we might see a race of the old-time greats, perhaps the race of the ages. Looks like Henry G. Brown is having a good fight, having a very good fight. As we can see, Blake Parker going to try and take the lead off of Drew Walker. Is Drew Walker going to deny it? And I think Owen Scott is right there, so that could be an opportunity. Not quite yet for Blake Parker, but things can change as Owen Scott now makes his way past Blake Parker for second place. And there is Solomon Sheridan right there. Solomon Sheridan really wants to get himself back up the points at least. Oh, and Henry G. Brown right there, making it a 3 wide for third place. And a close one at that. Just what a good fight with Thiem right there. As right now, Owen Scott is chasing down Drew Walker for the lead. And let's see if he can pull up a good fight this time. Blake Parker almost got it, but now he's starting to lose down a little bit now. And look at that fight there down there. Let's hope it's not going to end up in a wreck or something, because that won't be any good. And again, we have a battle for the lead. Owen Scott, I think he's just got it. Not quite. Oh my god, they've actually gone equal over the line. How nice to see. But Owen Scott is on top, but can he actually take the lead? He has briefly taken the lead, but Drew Walker is deciding to deny that lead once again, and he's now back up front. But is Owen Scott gonna do it again at least? It looks like the rest of the field are getting closer. Henry G. Brown, Blake Parker, Solomon Sheridan, and maybe Dylan Hayden as well can join in for that battle for the lead. As looks like Drew Walker is having a little bit of pressure from the pack behind. Looks like Henry G. Brown is going to ruin the party for those two, as he will try and get around on the inside. Not a good spot he wants to be, sort of, because passing around Kentucky isn't perfect, as in there's not a perfect chance of passing, but can happen when you got the right skill and right moment to do it. So, but it looks like I think Owen Scott is going to go for it once again on Drew Walker. It's now lap 12, and so far, apart from that brief lap for the lead, apart from when Owen Scott went equal over the line to Drew Walker has been your race leader for the whole of the race. And looks like, as I was going to say, Henry G. Brown is certainly in a better position. If he does finish right now, he could definitely boost his chances of getting back into the top 30. He is in the top 30, but merely hanging on by a thread. But if he can just put off a great result, then he can certainly get his ticket to the next round. As we can see, Solomon Sheridan battling it out with Blake Parker and Dylan Hayden. And is Owen Scott gonna go once again on Drew Walker? Not quite. And Henry G. Brown is going to cause a distraction down there. Henry G. Brown trying to take second place off of Owen Scott. Not yet though. It looks like Blake Parker is going to cause a bit of a distraction on the on the outside line. On the outside line goes Blake Parker. I think Blake Parker is got a better line than Henry G. Brown, but Henry G. Brown's just hanging on to it. As Solomon Sheridan still have a good look around those two. So far, there's not been yet an overhaul of Drew Walker from that lead as of yet. Owen Scott, though, still in a great position down there. Well, Owen Scott is literally, well, probably one of the few drivers who could definitely capitalize on Drew Walker for the lead. As you might have heard, I had to fetch something, so do apologize if you hear any background noise. I probably could have switched off my mic. But anyway, Owen Scott trying again on Drew Walker. Is he actually going to go for it? He needs to make that move. Oh, bit close one down there. They're still going side by side, but for how long? Drew Walker's got the better edge down there. Still no way of getting past. In fact, perhaps the only other way, the better way of passing someone will certainly be on the outside line. And to be frank, I think Owen Scott needs to make it quicker. He needs to make it quicker, or else I think Henry G. Brown, who appears to be a little faster, might try and pounce on Owen Scott for that second place spot. As we go on board for the time being, Henry G. Brown, still no way of getting past that Owen Scott. And Henry G. Brown trying again on the 17 car. Take a look at it from another angle. And Henry G. Brown is certainly going to fight for it. He's got a bit more drafting now with Blake Parker at his rear, but still to no avail. In fact, overtaking is starting to become a little bit of a weird situation. There's not much of any passing going along. So it seems to me that something is up. Maybe towards the end of the first cycle before the pit stops, that their tires start to wear off, and this could result in a change of performance. As you can see, we're having a good situation down there. Well, not a good situation, but we have a situation down there at the front. Owen Scott's still struggling to get around on Drew Walker, and now he's got Henry G. Brown all around Owen Scott. And look at that. Guess what? I think Henry G. Brown has just managed to get past Owen Scott. Or does he yet? He is certainly trying to pull away from Owen Scott, and he gets up front of Owen Scott. So Henry G. Brown is up into the lead. as looks like that Drew Walker is starting to feel the pressure now, because I think Henry J. Brown might try and do the same on Owen Scott. And Owen Scott is actually going to try and get his second place back, but unfortunately, it looks like Henry J. Brown is going to literally just respond and get away from him. And here comes Blake Parker on the outside line. And coming up lap 30, we should expect a round of pit stops literally very soon, maybe in the next 10 laps. As of right now, we have not seen actual pathing for the lead as of yet, but will Henry J. Brown change the story and go for the lead? And Henry J. Brown is trying again, but is he actually going to go for it? It's hard to tell, but maybe Drew Walker can respond. Looks like he is definitely responding, but they're still going a bit side by side. But I think Henry J. Brown is certainly going to try again on the 77 car, but it doesn't look like he will definitely try again, and that's kind of a strange way to put it, because Drew Walker is still there in that lead. And Henry J. Brown is going to try again. Okay, Owen Scott did almost exactly the same thing as what Henry J. Brown did. Obviously, a few units of a second faster, and unfortunately it happened the same thing. As you can see, there's no way of getting past Drew Walker. That is pretty strange, honestly. So it does look like there was going to be a close moment of overtaking, but it turns out not to be really an overtaking. So it seems pretty unusual at this moment. If only someone does eventually figure out a way of getting past, presumably on the outside, which is actually a very unusual move to make, compared if you're doing on the inside line. So I'm just not sure how it's happened at this particular track. It may have happened the same before at this very track earlier on in the season, but honestly, I'm not sure how to put it. I'm not sure how this works from there. But anyway, Blake Parker on the move on Henry J. Brown. And Henry G. Brown is going to try again, but I'm not sure if that's going to be successful again. In fact, we've seen first round of pit stops coming up, but I don't know if Drew Walker is on the verge of making his pit stop in the next lap after this one, which could result in, I don't know, would Henry G. Brown stay out as well? As in, well, where will Henry J. Brown be? Will he make his pit stop or will he stay out as well? And they all come in for their pit stop, and this is going to be interesting to see. And Drew Walker comes up in the lead. Oh, but that Blake Parker, but he's like way down, isn't he? If I remember correctly, unless I'm wrong. Who's in the 28 car? That is Rain and Army, but has she made a pit stop? That's a good question. So Blake Parker is in the lead, supposedly, but let's see if she's pitted. She hasn't pitted. She hasn't pitted as of yet. Oh, she did. She has pitted. She pitted lap 31. That was a very early pit stop. So what a shocker to see for Rain and Army. But considering it's only like nearly 10 laps before the rest of the others, so it seems to me that maybe it's not a good time. I think she wants to gamble on a win so early by making an early pit stop. So there she is, changing tires, and that's it. So apparently she's leading after 10 seconds, 10-second lead up the front. But would this actually work for Rain and Army? Or will she end up losing it? And there's Riley Hill. There's Riley Hill. In fact, Riley Hill has been in danger. Riley Hill was currently in danger of not being in the playoff despite not having a win. Despite having a win, because he's outside the top 30 and he needs to literally get a high position finish if he wants to make it to the playoffs. And I think that might be paying off for him. I think it's starting to work out for him. So we've got to keep an eye on Rain and Army, and let's see if she's actually if she's actually gonna pay off for that early pit stop, or else it will probably end up like Camry Jr. So right now we have a good battle between Blake Parker and Riley Hill for second place. And we're seeing a gap closing between Rain and Army and the rest of the field. Of course, they will have to get through a whole army of other cars that are a lap down if they want to get close to Rain and Army. So this is very crucial as we're coming up to 20 laps to go here in this race. Let's go on board Riley Hill, and let's see if maybe the two especially can get close to Rain and Army. And looks like the two are now trying to get their tires rolling as they try to lap down Nick Tanner, though at the same time gaining on Rain and Army. But obviously we've still got lap cars, and I think Rain and Army is starting to lose performance now as the lap cars pass them. So yep, that is not looking good news for Rain and Army, as I don't think the tires have, well, the early pit stops are gonna pay off for Rain and Army. The early pit stop. And now they've only got, and now she's only got Red Tanner right behind her for a buffer assistance. And there's Nathaniel Campbell. We have lappers. We have lappers are now starting to become faster than the drivers on the lead lap, which is pretty interesting. Looks like maybe Nick Tanner and Nathaniel Campbell getting away, and then trying to unlap Rain and Army, unlap from Rain and Army, and then, well, unlap Rain and Army, and then this will allow Rain and Army to slow down even more, and then that's where the battle will begin, as we're coming up to 13 laps to go. And Rain and Army still right there as we go on board Blake Parker. As we can see where Rain and Army is at. As you can see, the gap is still decreasing and still shrinking, to the point where this will certainly be a battle to the end. Now 2-second gap between the 28 car of Rain and Army and the 02 car of Blake Parker, as Blake Parker now is finally going to try, is he going to try and lap Nick Tanner back? Whilst I don't think these lappers are going to do any good. At least if they get out of the way, then of course this will be an opportunity for Blake Parker at least to get up front. Oh no, and Riley Hill is now up in second place, getting past Blake Parker. So now Riley Hill is definitely on the charge for that lead. Let's see what he can do to try and take down Rain and Army. Oh my goodness me, and there's Drew Walker as well. In fact, looks like maybe I think some of those cars are like a lap difference in terms of the pit stops, like when they made a pit stop. So I guess this might have affected the performance of that. And there's Drew Walker, the pulse hitter. Drew Walker's right there as Riley Hill takes the lead after this lap, but Drew Walker is right there, and he seems to be faster than Riley Hill. That certainly is going to put Riley Hill under severe pressure for the lead. So Rain and Army is down, sadly, having made a gamble. So unfortunate moment to see as Riley Hill still trying to get around Nick Tanner. If he can get by Nick Tanner before Drew Walker does, then that will definitely help him to win. Drew Walker's right there. Drew Walker's right there on the outside. That's not looking good for Riley Hill. And no way. Drew Walker is definitely going to steal that lead off of Riley Hill as a result of that. So Drew Walker back in the lead, but he's still got that lapper. And in fact, I don't think we're going to see any more lappers other than those two at least. So looks like, to be frank with you, I think Nick Tander, if he was on the way, I guess Riley Hill could have made things a little more easier by just simply hold on to that lead a little longer. But I don't think, yeah, if Nick Tanner wasn't here, then Riley Hill could have probably tried and hold on to the lead a little longer. So, but right now Drew Walker is there, but he's still struggling to get by Nick Tanner, which certainly is a certain good opportunity for everyone else to just keep watching in case anything goes wrong. Just in case anything bad happens, because it does seem laggy and I have a bad feeling it's not going to end up well. So let's take a look at the results so far, and there you have it. Drew Walker still struggling, and Riley, who is definitely on it on Drew Walker right there. And I wonder if Drew Walker can make a move, or at least get past Nick Tanner and lap him down. And Blake Parker's right there. And that's certainly going to be a huge pressure. And look at Riley Hill on the outside. He was having a look on the outside, but I don't think, yeah, that's not a good timing for Riley Hill. Bit of bad luck there, and Drew Walker's going to try once again. We have got 3 laps to go. It is certainly going to be a pedal to the metal to the finishing line. Okay, one lap to go. And is Drew Walker going to hold on to that lead to the finishing line? This lap at least? It looks certainly so, as he's about to fend off from Blake Parker. And this would be his third win this season. That's certainly going to help for the chase. And here comes Drew Walker off to win here at Kentucky. Followed by Blake Parker, Riley Hill, Henry J. Brown. And then we've got a 48 car of Dylan Hayden, Terry Lowell, David Scott, Eddie Flores Jr., Solomon Sheridan, and Cam Wright Sr. And the fastest lap time will go to Owen Scott in the 17 car, 29.511. And there you have it. So Drew Walker wins. So let's finish the race short and sweet because it is getting late. So anyways, thank you everyone for watching today's race, and hopefully I'll see you all next time for Homestead, the last race in the regular season before the playoffs. So once again, big thank you all for the race. It's been a very quiet race, but probably something we can manage once in a while. So anyways, once again, thank you everyone, and we will see you all back on the track very, very, very soon.